So I get a lot of questions about relationship advice. I'm not actually quite sure why, because I'm single more than I am with somebody. So clearly I haven't figured out all the answers either. Uh, but I have been in enough relationships that I have been able to pick up some insight and some wisdom to tell you. Um, and I'm going to share this experience with you with my most recent now ex-girlfriend. I'm not going to mention any names for privacy reasons. There are details that I'm going to leave out that are just too personal that you know, but what I'm going to be doing is pointing out the red flags, um, things that you should basically, if you see them, run, run, go the other way because you will regret it later. So just a brief history. Oh yeah, and again, this isn't to slander or anything like that. In fact, it's more embarrassing to even tell this video, which we've been broken up for about a week now. And I wasn't going to make the video just because it's actually a reflection on me too. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's kind of therapeutic too. And I want to point out some red flags to you people. I met this woman uh, on Facebook. She hit me up and said that she lived in the area and was interested in Satanism. So we talked for a little bit, and then we ended up meeting up at a coffee shop. And I brought my former best friend with me, who's also a Satanist and was part of our chapter. So I felt, we all could sit and have some coffee and stuff. And we did. But see, we kind of threw this in at like the spur of the moment, like last minute type thing. And I had been drinking all day. It was my day off. And I was pretty drunk by the time I got there. And I probably shouldn't have, but again, I didn't really have a lot of notice. Well, we all talked for a couple hours, had some coffee. I was tired and drunk, and I started to get faded, and I was like almost about to fall asleep at the coffee shop. So I figured, I'm just going to leave because I don't want her to see me like this. And I'm pretty much useless as far as conversation goes because I can barely fucking keep my eyes open. So I politely excused myself. I left them two there, and I Ubered it home. Well, what I didn't know is a couple hours later, she was at the time 28 and he was 45. At the time, I didn't know this, but I found out later on that after I had left, she ended up like fucking him in the backseat of her car after like another couple hours of conversation. Well, nobody told me this, and apparently they continued to see each other for a week. Um, and like nobody told me, and it's weird because he still does, I believe, but I don't know. I don't talk to him either. But lived with his girlfriend of like 10 years and works with her. And and she lives at home, like 40 minutes away from this area that we live in. So apparently they were doing like the high school shit, fucking each other in the backseat of cars, bathrooms, alleys, parks, whatever. Who the fuck knows? Well, we continued to still go out, and she continued to talk to me, and we kind of started to develop. I could tell she was developing kind of a romantical interest in me, and I was developing one in her too. But at the same time, she's continuing seeing this guy, and nobody told me shit. My friend didn't tell me shit. She didn't tell me shit. So it was fucked up on both of their parts. Well, we were at a bar one night, and I kissed her, and right in front of him. He didn't react at all. She kind of got weird. Like she kind of smiled, but it was kind of I knew something wasn't right, and that's when I started to say, okay, there's something going on here. Uh, and so I stepped out to have a cigarette. I wasn't mad. I was just now I kind of knew. I just stepped out to have a smoke, and neither of them smoke. So as soon as I stepped out to have a smoke, they fucking ran out the back door. Didn't say anything to me. Just left me there. And I waited for like fucking 30 minutes. I walked around. I couldn't find him. I eventually just went home. I got in my Uber and I went home. And then I called my friend the next day and I was like, dude, is there something going on between you two? And he's like, well, this is kind of awkward. I said, there is, isn't there? He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, we're seeing each other, man. I've been seeing her since that first night. And then, I was a little hurt because she was kind of stringing me along. And she knew I had a romantic interest in her, and nobody told me shit. The only credit I can give to my friend is that, for the most part, and during this entire thing, he never lied about it. where she lied and hid things, and I actually had to find out through various ways before. Anyway, that was the first red flag. This is about red flags, not necessarily the story of this entire relationship. First red flag is why, what kind of self-respecting woman who's 28 would fuck a 45-year-old man in the backseat of her car after a couple hours? Like, what's that all about? How fucking insecure and, no self-esteem can you be to do that in the backseat of your car? Even like, what is this, fucking high school? Like, Jesus, someone you just met, someone who's old enough to be your father. It's like, eesh. That was the first red flag. Somebody who's willing to do that. Second is somebody who's willing to hide and do it to your best friend. Now, that doesn't say much about his character, but that's not really what this is about. I wasn't in a friendship with him. So to hide it from me and then to string me along and continue to feel me out, another big red flag. Well, when I finally found this out, she was like, I made a mistake. I really was interested in you, but I didn't think you liked me. Another red flag. So it's like somebody blaming their fucked up actions on you. I didn't think you liked me because you left that first night. Yeah, no. That's lying. But the lies get thicker and worse. Lying is a definite red flag. Well, she said, give me another chance. I said, well, okay. Because, again, she wasn't my girlfriend, but all that shady fucking behavior, I should have known. I should have said, fuck you. So she told him that she wasn't going to see him anymore, and that she wanted to see me. So she started seeing me. She stayed at my place. I stayed at her place for like almost every day for a week. And then all of a sudden, although nothing was wrong, all of a sudden, I get this call. I'm just not in a position to see anybody right now. I just need to be alone. Like, what the fuck? That's another huge red flag. That means something's going on that you don't know about. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm done. And of course she goes back to my friend. Now, I told my friend's girlfriend that what was up. And she was not happy. Although they were kind of a complicated relationship still. So she followed him out to their car. And they were in her car. And she busted him and told this girl everything about this guy, about how he lies to women and all this stuff. And, my friend had been telling this girl, not his girlfriend, this girl that, I'm so in love with you. After a fucking week, really, I'm so in love with you, and, I'm going to leave her and all this stuff. And my friend's girlfriend was like, tell her what you told me, that you're still in love with me, that you still want to be with me and want to make this work. And my friend caved. My friend had no choice but to tell the truth. And so he left. He got out of the car and went home with his girlfriend. Now, this girl in question calls me up crying and said, you're so right. I'm so sorry. You're so right. I made a huge mistake. You're right. You're right. I never want to see him again. Blah, 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 blah. Well, so, I said, I told you I was right. And here's the thing. That should have been another red flag. I should have never taken her back again. So I did. I did take her back again. And that was, from there on out, the relationship just got really fucked. Mind you, I'm not perfect in the relationship. Some other red flags are substance abuse problems. Now, and that may sound weird to you guys, knowing that my drug history and knowing that I'm an alcoholic. It's not the doing of drugs that I find offensive. It's the behavior that the drugs produce. For instance, she's a chronic weed smoker, and I don't have a problem with anybody smoking weed. I smoke weed from time to time, but she's also bipolar, suffers from depression and anxiety, suffers from morbid jealousy issues, which is another huge red flag. I'm not saying if you're bipolar, that's a red flag. I mean, mental illness, there's varying degrees of it. Of course, if it's extreme, that's a hatchet in the relationship right there. But, if you're medicated and you're on therapy, you can be fairly well adjusted. I know. But the morbid jealousy and radical insecurities, it's like, and her weed smoking just brought it out. That was another red flag. I should have walked away, because it was like, who's that chick? Going through my private shit when I fall asleep on my computer, reading my private messages on Facebook and shit. Oh, that's a huge red flag too that I ignored. I mean, I was pissed about it, but like asking me, like getting stoned, and then all this morbid jealousy shit would come out. Like, is she prettier than me? Did you fuck her? Would you fuck her? If you weren't with her, would you fuck her? This went on for a while. She did end up getting better about it, but it took me a long time. But see, the thing is, she just stopped pestering me about it. That's still what she thinks. Another huge red flag. So I guess this is getting to be a very long video. Yeah, we ended it, and it could have ended smoothly and just walked away. But of course, these types of people who are insecure and immature and suffer from mental illness, they can't end things well. They have to end it with the biggest fuck you, thing you can. And this one, accused me of being a pedophile. She believes everything she reads on the internet. But see, the thing is she doesn't really believe I'm a pedophile. She read somebody's blog that claimed I was a pedophile. Well, there's hundreds of blogs about me, and not all of them are flattering. Oh well, it's a fucking internet. But yeah, so she would use that as an excuse, like to act crazy and stuff like that. Big red flag. People start saying like, I'm from here on out. There's really not much to say, and this is a very long video. But yeah, don't ignore those red flags. If something serious is like that, don't think that you can stay in the relationship and fix it. You can't. That's a sign of serious problems that you are not going to be able to fix. So just walk away and cut your pieces. Don't be a fool like I was and stay with him for 5-6 months. Because then it's just that much harder, and you put yourself and torment yourself. There's no need to. The person's damaged goods and can't be fixed. Oh, I forgot to add one more thing. If the person is 29 years old and has never lived by themselves and still live at home with their parents, and can't get so stoned that they can't go to work, and calls into work and can't show up to work on time, guess what? There is no hope or future for you with that person, because they're never going to get their shit together. They're always going to be stuck at home. And whether it's because they're immature, whether it's because they have emotional problems, or whether it's because they smoke too much weed and just are irresponsible, or all the above, that's a huge red flag.